What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so it feels like an eternity since Season 1 of The Witcher ended. It didn't turn out to be the success that a lot of people were anticipating it to be. I think a lot of people kind of thought, it'd come out right after the end of Game of Thrones, and they thought, hey, maybe this, with its star power, with Henry Cavill at the helm, would be maybe the next Game of Thrones. I mean, it does have a huge book following. It has a huge video game following. Why wouldn't it be a popular, great series? Unfortunately, it didn't live up to the hype to a lot of fans, including myself. I thought Henry Cavill was boring through most of it. I felt like the story dragged. I didn't enjoy the time jumps. It didn't make sense for me. It took me a while of getting into it to realize exactly what was going on. I just didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy most of it. I thought some of the characters, like Yennefer, was interesting. But I didn't enjoy the people that are really supposed to, like Geralt. It's not Henry Cavill's fault. It was just the writing. He was literally, all he did was say the F word and basically growled. That was it. Basically, that was literally all of his dialogue during season 1. So yeah, that can be improved upon. I hope it will be in season 2. I have a lot of anticipation by this. But here's the kicker, guys. The thing that'll get you probably most excited about it, if you've enjoyed the games or you enjoyed the books, the Wild Hunt might be appearing on screen this year. Set photos maybe have brought this into the Witcher series. But let me just go ahead and read y'all what this article goes on to state. It says right here, Netflix, The Witcher Season 2 is starting to come into view, with production continuing after a number of setbacks. And throughout the process, we've had hints of what might be in store for the show's sophomore season. That said, if this latest one ends up being true, it'll be the biggest yet, as new set photos from the show's current filming location of Saunton Beach in Devon, UK, suggest that the Wild Hunt storied villains from the franchise will be making their television debut. As you can see in the photos below, it sure looks like they will be making their presence felt in the show. Redanian intelligence has confirmed with the sources that the Wild Hunt and the photos showcase their trademark all-black armor, eccentric weaponry, and the skeletal horse cuirasses we've come to associate with the group. The crew filming these sequences is a smaller one, so more than likely the Wild Hunt, or whatever they end up being called, won't play a huge role in Season 2. Ooh, see, that's kind of a bummer if it's not going to be Season 2, but if you really think about it, how could they bring it in Season 2? But hey, you know what? I'm fine with it. Even if at the very end of Season 2 they bring in these guys, that would be awesome. The Wild Hunt is just an amazing part of the Witcher just whole lore. And they're just great villains. So yeah, even if at the very end of Season 2 they just have like a small cut to it, I'd say that'd even be good for me. Maybe even bring in a little bit of hints or something. Maybe a little cut scenes that show them, roaming through the forest or something like that. Maybe after Ciri or whoever they're going to be after in this series. So we'll just have to see. But overall, I am really excited about it. It says perhaps the big hook for Season 3, and if so, that would be one amazing hook. Hopefully, we'll learn more soon, but in the meantime, you can find the official description for The Witcher Season 2 below. Now, this description makes me think Yes, it's probably for season 3, but we will. But like I said, I'm hopeful that we'll at least get to see some cutscenes of them during season 2. But this is the description of The Witcher season 2. Convinced Yennefer's life was lost at the Battle of Sodden, Geralt of Rivia brings Princess Cerelia to the safest place he knows, his childhood home of Kaer Morhen. While the continent's kings, elves, humans, and demons strive for supremacy outside its walls, he must protect the girl from something far more dangerous, the mysterious power she possesses inside. See, now, when they said something far more dangerous, when I first read this, I was like, oh, they're talking about the Wild Hunt. Like, what's going on here? Is it the Wild Hunt that they're talking about? Sadly, it's from herself. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, the Wild Hunt somehow won't be a part of that storyline in season 2. I feel like this show needs something like that. They need an interesting uh, villain. Yes, we did get to kind of see some interesting villains, but they didn't play a huge role. It was mostly about, Yennefer's past and, Geralt, basically just doing what he does best. It just didn't have that powerful villain to really, bring anticipation into season 1, for like the finale or anything like that. I feel like if they brought in the Hunt, I feel like it would be something that would get fans going. You know what? We didn't see this in episode 1 or episode 2, but maybe in episode 3 they'll give us like a little hint of this. If they do something like that, just something to just kind of make us feel like there's something important fixing to go down, something exciting that's going to go down, something that we've been anticipating for a long time. I know this was the very first thing that I thought of when I heard that there was going to be a Witcher series a few years ago. I was like, okay, if they bring this into it about the Hunt, I'm like, yeah, I'm totally into this series. Sadly, they didn't in season 1, but I understand why they didn't in season 1. You wouldn't have wanted in season 1. I guess with because they're setting up the storylines, getting the characters, familiarized with things. Even though I'd have loved to have seen them in season 1, I don't know if they would have fit into it, but maybe they could have maybe given reference to it or something along those lines to get fans to think, okay, maybe next episode we'll see something or hear something maybe about them. So overall, I think season 2 is going to be great. But if you've got, the Wild Hunt basically being showcased in season 3, I think you are definitely going to get more fan anticipation for this upcoming season and definitely for season 3. You know what? I feel like they couldn't do any worse. And I hate to say this. I don't want to be down about The Witcher because, I feel like Henry Cavill is a great Witcher. I feel like he does he looks the part at least. I just wish they would have gone with the book version of Geralt instead of the video game version of him. The book version is just more talkative, more active in the story. The video game version is just basically there to screw women, kill stuff, and then, growl at people. And that's basically what Henry Cavill did all through season 1. So, while I would have enjoyed seeing something like The Wild Hunt, I understand why they didn't. There's things that they could improve upon from season 1. A lot of things they could improve. They couldn't really do, in my eyes, they couldn't do worse. Like, you can't take something as brilliant as what The Witcher is and make it into something more boring than what they did in season 1. Season 1, there was some episodes in season 1, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't hardly stand this anymore. Like, I really felt that way, and I hated being that way. I wanted to just be like, okay, this should be a show that I should, after it's said and done, I'd want to binge watch again. But I barely made it through season one. And I'll be honest, for the longest time, when there was that delay that went on with season two, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm actually kind of cool with the delay. Like, because I wasn't excited to see it. Then when I see something like this, I'm like, okay, now I'm back in. Now I'm intrigued. Now I want to see a little bit more from this, see where it's going to go. Like I said, even if it's not in season two, you just give me a little something to be hopeful for in season three, and I'll follow along in season two. Like, that's all I ask. Give these main characters something to make them interesting. There's got to be more than just sex scenes with The Witcher, which doesn't bother me because there's a lot of that kind of in The Witcher, games especially. So I mean, but I mean at the same time, I'm still like, I'd almost rather see like a little bit more of story showcase more than just nudity and things along those lines. Something, I get it. I guess if you're like teenage boy, I guess that's maybe interesting and whatnot to get to see. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, okay, I want to see some progression, some story with these characters. I didn't really feel like we got that. I feel like Geralt really didn't progress as a character. I felt like Yennefer just, I don't know, she kind of was borderline creepy to a certain extent. When she was, like, hey, I want to be a mother, and she's willing to do all these things to be that. The connection between her and Geralt really didn't really feel right. Their connection wasn't really there, and they tried to make it where he was just totally in love with her, infatuated with her. But I didn't really see anything about what went on in the series that would make him that way. So I didn't buy into that romance. Hopefully in season two I will. But we'll just have to see. But I feel like these set photos are a step in the right direction. Let's hope they are what people are hoping they are. Because if it is, I think The Witcher has a very good future ahead of it. I do. Do I think it's going to be the next Game of Thrones? No. It's not going to even be close. It's not even going to be probably one of the top 5 shows of, the year. It's probably not. At least, in a lot of people's books it won't be. Unless you're like a diehard Witcher fan. But I mean, I don't care if it's top 5 shows. I just want it to be, something that lives up to the standards of the books and the movies. I mean, of the games. And if it can do that, I'm cool with it. I've always been fascinated with this world. And I just hope that the Witcher series can make me just as fascinated about seeing this world in live action than what it did when I was reading the books. But we'll just have to see, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if adding the Wild Hunt will actually improve your chances of watching this show for season 2 or possibly season 3. Do you think season 3 is too late? Do you think they should incorporate it into season 2? What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comment section. As always, guys, thanks for watching.